holy crap, it's Christmas and you need to get a board game or something, we've got a list.
Hello.
Welcome to Bad at Board Games.
He's bad at board games.
I'm Brad Lake.
I'm Toph and Ferguson.
We're bad at board games, so you don't have to be. Today, we're going to be talking about...
Today we're talking about our suggestions for games you may want to pick up at a big box retailer store. So stick around, see what games we recommend for a gateway gamer, maybe a lightweight gamer, or maybe somebody who's a medium plus gamer. Stick around the end of the video, see all of our top suggestions.
Make sure you comment down below on what you think some of the best games are that you can just go out and get at the brick and mortar, not the local friendly game store, because not everybody has access to those things. So we'd be curious to see what you think as well. What are we going to start off with?
Yeah, we thought we'd start off with game suggestions that could be those gateway games. Maybe it's somebody who has not yet gotten into the hobby and you want to kind of introduce them to this world of hobby board gaming, or maybe you just want to bring them to the dark side and start building their collection as well. So these are our top 4 games for gateway games.
Yep, starting off with number 4, Isle of Cats. So Isle of Cats is great. It's a beautiful game. It's a polyomino style game. You get a ship. You're trying to save cats from the island before the dreaded pirate. Not the Pirate Roberts, but that's a movie, and I like to think it's the dreaded Pirate Roberts. But anyway, so it's just a beautiful game. It is now $30. You can pick this game up. I think when I picked it up, it was like a $50 game.
Yeah.
And it's the family version, and then you've got a gamer version of it. So it's one of the few games on our list that has a harder version for people who like the game. So like you got that option to grow into it. And it's great for couples, great for families.
Kind of a fun suggestion because I only really know Isle of Cats from playing the full version, and Brad knows it primarily from playing with his family. So it's more the family version of Isle of Cats. So it's good to kind of span a little bit.
Yeah.
Great suggestion.
What's your number 3?
Yeah, my number 3 is going to be one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Pandemic. I love Pandemic as a gateway game because it is bringing people into this new thought process of cooperative gaming. I know when I grew up playing board games, we didn't have cooperative games. You know, they were the standard games that every family probably has shoved on the top shelf of a closet in one of the random bedrooms of the house. And all of a sudden, this idea of Pandemic was one of the first gateway games that I played that was that cooperative version, and it hooked me. I love the theme as well, but I think it's a great way to introduce people into this idea of playing together against the board, because that blew my mind when a board game fights back against you.
That is awesome. Our number 2 recommendation is probably one of the highest sold games. 38 million, I think I just looked up.
32 million.
32 million.
Yeah.
And it is sitting at $48. So it's getting right on that. Yeah, this is starting to get expensive. Catan. I remember when my son got Catan and everything was Catan. Everything. We got pictures of the sheep at Gen Con. We were playing Catan like every day for quite a while there. Had got the expansions, all that kind of stuff. So it is definitely a gateway game. There's people that he's played it so often he doesn't want to play it anymore. So
Yeah, we got a video talking about that.
yeah, hundreds of games of Catan from this guy here, but he's played it out.
I played it out, but with that, I still recommend it as such a fantastic game.
It's a great gift game. If you're trying to see and teach somebody and get them into that, and be like, here you go.
Yeah, great suggestion. Another great suggestion.
So, what is our number 1 gateway game that we recommend?
Yeah. For me, this is actually going to partially be because my nephew is really getting into this right now, and that is Ticket to Ride. Another one of those classic games. It's been around. People love it. It's easy to play. It's easy to teach, but yet it's still hours of fun. So if you're interested, it's more on the competitive side, but if you're interested in something that could be great for the family and have a little bit of fun competition in there, this is getting a little bit higher up again, like Catan in the price range. It's currently sitting around $48. But just the basic version is what you need to get started. They have a ton of other kinds of Ticket to Rides out there, but just the basic version, it's a fantastic game. I love it. It's in my collection. Catan's in my collection. I'm not calling either of them, but yeah.
And Ticket to Ride also has a great app. Like I've played the app before because you can play asynchronous and you can play with somebody else and just, over the course of a few days, you play through it or, on your breaks and stuff, you kind of like just ping back and forth. So, it's got pass and play. You can play with other people on the phone. So the board game is great for families and getting people around together, but it also has a really good app. I can recommend that as well. So those are our top 4 gateway games you can get at big box stores. And now we're going to move on to what's our next category?
Next category I'm calling gamer light. So this is somebody who is into the hobby and maybe they're new in the hobby, so they're not yet looking for those heavyweight games, or maybe they've settled into that sweet spot of saying that they really enjoy the lighter weight games, which are still fantastic even for heavyweight gamers. But so these are kind of that first level out of gateway into gaming.
Yeah, so one of them is one of my top couples games, and something I tried to pull my now wife into, and we got Azul, and I hadn't played it, and we picked it up, and the components, love the components, the Azul tiles, they made them nice and chunky, and they feel good to play with and pull them out of the bag, a lot of weight to them, and at 2 players, which is my favorite, you got a lot to take that, but at 4 players, it still plays wonderfully. I think it's even up to 5. It's been,
I think it's 4.
Anyway,
it's been a while since I played the base version of Azul.
And you can get Azul for $32. So, good price, great game. It's definitely one of those as a gift to getting somebody into gaming and trying to get them moving down the addiction and into the hobby. Great game.
And I think another really good thing with Azul is the puzzling aspect of it.
Yeah.
So if you know somebody that likes to play a lot of puzzles, that you can geek out hardcore on trying to get the exact matches that you want in your wall or whatever it is that you're.
And it doesn't take a long time to play. That's the other thing. Like some of these like gateway games or like gamer light, you get the gamer thinky, but it's it is kind of a filler game at the same time. So great game.
Yes.
What's number 3 on this list?
Yeah, I threw this game on. I think this is a great game for families. I've played it definitely with kids, not really young kids, but children, adults alike like it. And it is called Machi Koro. And you can see like at Target right now, they have a Target special edition of Machi Koro 2. You could go with any of them. They're all very similar to it. You just might get a little bit nicer upgraded materials. The thing that I like about Machi Koro is that it's introducing the idea of playing on other people's turns as well. So not only are you learning how to build a tableau, you're also paying attention to what other people are doing, because as you go and build your town, people may have to visit your shops, your restaurants. And if they're doing that, they have to pay you. And so everybody's kind of paying attention to each other with the game itself. It's a card game that is driven with dice, and it just plays competitive, but it's not overly so. I think a lot of the games that I've had, it's been kind of a chill, mellow with a little bit of take that in it. And the good thing with Machi Koro also is the price. It's sitting right around $30. And so it's a good deal to be able to pick up and get lots of gameplay out of it.
Mm-hmm. Now the next game is great for somebody who is into the Marvel scene, comic books, even Marvel cartoons, or obviously all the movies and everything that's going on. And they have Marvel Dice Throne now and the 4-pack. So now you can get it cheaper. It's $50 for the 4-pack, but it's a better deal than getting the 2-pack at $30. So that's why I picked the pack of 4 that you can get, the starter pack. It's got a nice diversity, and Toph's bought a 2-pack. I've bought a 2-pack of Dice Throne. You bought this 4-pack, but after you get the 2-pack, you want more. Like you definitely, so I think starting off, if you can afford the $50, or you're trying to stay within a 30 or under budget, the Marvel Dice Throne 2-pack, either one, great offering. Pick the favorite hero and go with that. So you got a couple options. The better deal is the $50 one. So that's I don't know. It's like Yahtzee, but you get to have powers and abilities, and it's another one of those quick games that somebody can enjoy, and it's easy to get out and really nice components.
Yeah, it is. And the benefit with a 4-player, you can play more than 2 people, which is also very nice.
That is true. You can play 2-on-2 as well. Yeah. So that's our number 2 of Gamer Light.
Yes. So number 1 within this Gamer Light category is another one of those fantastic, well sold out games, and that is Wingspan. If you've not played Wingspan yet, definitely give it a try. Pick it up, play it together. I think you will greatly enjoy it. Building out this tableau that's in front of you, driving through all these cards with beautiful artwork on it. I'm not big on the bird theme, but the game itself stands out to me as a fantastic game. It's also a great game solo. So if you're looking for a gift idea for somebody into solo gaming, this could be a really good option to be able to provide for them. It is getting up again on that higher end of the price range. Its MSRP, I think, is $60, but usually you can find it at Target for around $48, which is a lot of game. Pretty good price, but a lot of game for that $48. So I definitely would say to add it to your collection or your friend's collection.
And this is another one where knowing the person you're getting things for, right? Do they like nature? Do they go hiking? Do they like birds? Like Isle of Cats is great for a cat person. Wingspan, it's nature. It's beautiful little components and pretty pictures and things. Find the hook, and the theme is usually the hook that will draw them into the.
Yeah, I agree completely with that. My boss is not a gamer, but he's a birder. Mm-hmm. And so we were laughing in a video call. I've got all my board games behind me. And I said, yeah, look at my board games. He was, do you have that bird game? Because I've got that bird game and I don't know how to play it. And it just made me laugh. I was like, yeah, I do. It's right there. But yeah, so Wingspan, definitely a good one, especially if you know the person you're buying for, like Brad said, likes outdoor stuff. That's a good tip to throw into this list. I like that. If you know your audience, buy something that fits their theme.
To me, that's really how you start to pull people into board gaming. If you gotta hook them with a theme, and once you get the theme into them, then the dominoes start to fall.
Yeah.
So what's our next top 4?
Yes. So we have decided not to go as heavyweight as absolutely possible. Otherwise, you get a list of Lacerda.
You can't get Lacerda at Target.
That's true.
So.
That's true. You can't.
There was a limit.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we are sticking to the Target list. So we're sticking with those gamers that are maybe a little bit higher on the complexity level. So gamers that are at that medium plus level. And this is probably maxing out the list of difficulty that you could find at a big box store as well. So this is kind of hitting the limits with that. So I'll start this list off if that works for you.
That would be great.
So this is a great game if the person you are buying a gift for is into dungeon crawls or wants to get into dungeon crawling. It's a game that I bought for myself because it's fantastic at solo gaming. And if you have a friend that likes solo gaming, this I would absolutely say put it on the top of the list. And that is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. It's also a great way to enter into Gloomhaven itself. The ramp up to it is a lot easier, much smaller box, and a much lower price than Gloomhaven. You can get Jaws of the Lion for about $35, or depending on the sales, all the way, I've seen it as low as almost $20 at Target. So great gift for somebody who likes that D&D, but maybe they don't have a D&D group around that can play with them, or the idea of a dungeon crawl is something that really excites them. Somebody that wants to explore in a board game, do a little bit of fighting monsters. Great game in a little box.
Yeah, awesome. And that's our number 4. And our number 3 is Dune Imperium. Now, this is actually starting to get to the big box stores. I didn't really notice it until recently, so I could be wrong. Could have been there for the whole year, but it's big enough, and the movie and everything is did extremely well last year. And it's now available, and you're looking at $49. So you're teetering on that. $49 can still be a lot of money depending on your income, and if you're giving it as a gift, do you want to spend $20 or do you want to spend 40, 50? So has to be probably a pretty good friend. But yeah. So Dune Imperium, I like Dune. Love the new movie. I've watched it so many times. I watched the first movie too. I like that one.
I haven't seen anything.
Dating myself. Yeah. If it's Harry Potter, he's in. If it's like anything else that I like, then he's like, I've never seen that one.
Maybe I have seen them and they're just not the top of my list. Let's be honest.
Anyway, Dune, it's always on the hotness. It's been on the hotness over a year since it came out. And with the expansions, you don't need the expansions. I know they make some things better. However, as gifts, Dune Imperium, pretty cool worker placement.
Yeah, I support it.
That's our number 4.
That's number 3, right?
That's number 3. I can't count.
Yeah.
So that's the number 3 of this list.
Yes. So my number 2 for this list is actually going to probably get to the highest level of complexity in the list that we are giving you. It's actually a new game, so it just hit the shelves.
And it's the cheapest.
It is the cheapest, which is shocking because big brother to this is not the cheapest board game. But I ran to the store to actually get this pretty much once it came out, and that is Horizons of Spirit Island. I was thinking that it was going to be, and I think you said the same word, the perfect word, Spirit Island Light. I would not say that. I would not say
Spirit
that.
Island. Still Spirit Island.
It is Spirit Island with lighter complexity spirits, but the game is exactly the same as Spirit Island as Big Brother. So it might be good if you have a friend who likes Spirit Island and they're wanting more spirits to add to their game. The game is only $30. Like $30 for a Spirit Island game. And I'll be honest, yes, you don't have the little miniature pieces, but the cardboard chits play exactly the same. I've played both regular Spirit Island and Horizons, and I've played with that, pulling out one versus the other, and I'm just as happy with the cardboard chits as I am with the little pieces that stand up on the board. So great game, very challenging. So do know that if your person you're buying for is not into heavyweight games, skip this. Don't buy this one. But if they like those heavier weight games, this is a great challenge. It's also another cooperative game. I love cooperative games. And so this is definitely upping the complexity for maybe Pandemic. But great game, new out to Target. So you're going to see it and it's probably going to go off the shelves quickly. So if you see it and you want to buy it, definitely pick it up.
And then our number one for medium plus that you can get at Target or, local big box stores is Everdale. And this is another great one for somebody has to be have gotten through some of these previous games that we've talked about. But then if they love nature and you're wanting to get them into, gaming, like I didn't want this because I'm not nature guy. I got this because my wife is nature girl. And after playing this, I'm like, I love this game. So there's a great game within this cutesy wooden, land, and all the animals, and the meeples are cute and the tree. Like after you play it, you get it. Just looking at it, seeing this tree standing over there, I'm like, either you love that and you think it's cool, or you're like me and I'm like, I don't want to go near that with a 10-foot pole. But I'm a convert, right? So, I can definitely be like, had zero interest in it, zero interest in the theme, put me off. And after playing it, it's a great game. So,
Fantastic.
and it's sitting, this is the most expensive game on our list. I'm looking over here. Yeah. $61. You're not getting this one cheap, but it's got nice components. If you want a deluxe version, I think you're going to pay another $30 on top of that. And then they have just launched like the big box Kickstarter with like 5 million different expansions in it. Yeah. So, which, this may lead them down the game addiction path because they're going to go on the next one and the next one and the next one or something like that. So as they want to get more Everdale, but that's our number one medium plus game that you can get at a box.
Fantastic game. All of these games, obviously, I think are great games. Everdale is great. It's a worker placement. You've got not really card draft. Well, it is card drafting. You have card drafting, limited resource management. Man, there's so many great things, even if they're not big into the cutesy animal theme. But I think you do need to curate that, kind of like Wingspan, to somebody who is into nature, just so that it's not I'm never going to play that type game. Yeah, it's great. Man, it's great.
So what games do you buy for gifts? Like we got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming on right up. So I'm going to try to get this out right before. It would be kind of lame to get it like out in January.
Right.
But what do you guys think? What do you agree with? What don't you agree with? Do you think, what do you do to hook somebody if you're wanting to get them into board games? What kind of games do you recommend?
And I'm curious to know maybe what you're seeing in your city, your state, or your country. What are you seeing at the big box stores that you would add into a list? We're not talking about going to your friendly local gaming store. We're not talking about buying online, but running into a brick and mortar and finding a game on a shelf as a gift for somebody that's in any of these categories, from not a gamer all the way up to a gamer.
That would be awesome. We'd like to know that. That'd be pretty cool, especially other countries.
Yeah, and I know there's a bit of a challenge sometimes because, what we have here in the States is going to be different than what you might find in Canada, and we're very close.
In UK and everywhere else.
And then you jump into, what do you got in Asda? What do you got in, some of these other stores? So I'm curious to know, what it is that you guys are finding in your big box stores.
Definitely. And if you like this, if you stuck around to the end, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please click that little button down there. I've seen our stats. It's kind of interesting. Only about 15% of the people who view the channel are subscribed. So there's 85% of you that are Help us out.
Yeah, we'd love to have you guys kind of hanging around for the long term, see the crazy things that we get into.
Yeah. See the well polished and the idiot.
No comment. I think that's enough said.
Anyway, just remember when you're playing games, no matter if you're playing solo, with family, or friends,
enjoy whatever games you're bringing to the table.
Have a great night.